Check. Test.
Okay. Okay. Have a seat. Morning, Will. Have a seat. Good. Where do you want me to sit, man?
Grab my coffee. You got the switches, camera switcher. Is that supposed to?
Make sure that you just go out the point of design.
Yeah.
At least start to browse and realize I got your fish. Oh, thank you. I thought I had a whole bunch, but I realized they took a whole bunch of it to my family in Nebraska in November. Monster giving like good food to your family instead of. So I don't have a lot, but
okay, so it's the live broadcast.
Hey, Bill, is this cord here supposed to go in somewhere?
No.
No. All right.
Sorry.
Should have brought my glasses in from the car.
Figure out where we're at here.
Yeah, it's just you can see the.
Middle, right, and middle again? Or is this the other side?
That's the corner.
So it's 1 all the way to your left, 2 is right here, and 3 is all the way there. And you'll do mostly 1, 2, 3.
Oh.
4 is all the way across the field in case there's
Looking
a dead
this
spot.
way.
Okay, we're live here, so every once in a while, take a peek at the chat box and see if there's anyone entering comments. Okay, you're live.
I'm live.
So go for it. Thanks, everybody. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, live.
Am I live? Good morning, hurling fans. Welcome to Kiva Sports Center in a very cold February morning in Middleton, Wisconsin. Michael J. Stotts Field, where the players play. Today, we have our third installment of the Gray versus Black series. This is our competitive A-League, City League for indoor hurling, the 2022 Hurling Club of Madison indoor hurling season. We're just about underway here as the teams begin to warm up. We have the Ian. Do you know how to get the view with the lineups, or do we? Maybe we don't have that today.
You mean like the teams?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's just.
So working solo today. I'm doing the whole Vin Scully routine as Bill Jones, our mastermind of this broadcast, will be starting presumably in goal for the Black team out here. Team Chaos, as Black has been traditionally known in the annals of the indoor league here, Winter League. And without the names, I can give you a little bit of a rundown. It looks like starting on the throw-in, we're going to have Brian Murphy, and we're going to have Sucky, Shane Fleming in the middle. Allen presumably will be working in the forwards. We've got, is that Rowdy in the backs? Stephen Cobb, Matt Daly. Oh, here we go. So here is our lineup. So with Black, the roster will be Austin, it'll be Bill Jones, it'll be Ben Bars, Chris Lane, John Kenny, Matt Daly, Owen McCarthy, Mike DeBias, if I'm saying that right, new guy from welcoming in from Portland who's transferring into Madison. We've got Zach Trebatuski, and then on Gray, I already mentioned Allen, Brady Terry, Brian Dowling, Brian Murphy, John Campbell, Phil Foyts, Shane Fleming, Stephen Cobb, and that should wrap up the lineups for you today as the ball is now thrown in, and looks like Michael DeBias battling Brian Murphy along the boards, cleared out by John Kenny, who gets it down the line and into the offensive zone where Matt Daly picks it up. Great centering pass into the middle, and we have our first goal of the game with Matt Daly making his season debut in place of Donald O'Donovan. Matt feeding DeBias into the middle with a great look and getting Black on the board for a 3-0 lead as Stephen Cobb sweeps the ball out. And John Campbell. I honestly don't. You can get hopefully is there a pen and paper there that you can track it down on? Yeah. So we have a 3-0 lead for Black as Ian, our member of our crew here, is going to try to figure out the live scoring here. He's lost the link, and he's going to track that manually until we can get it back online as Alan Morris works the ball down into the corner. Brian Murphy with a light sweep from the corner into the goal, and we have ourselves a tie game with Morris assisting Murphy. So we have 3 for Murphy and 3 for Michael Tobias. Ian, if you're scoring at home, which you are doing right now, as Cobb makes a save and the Gray defense clears the ball out to Brian Murphy. Alan Morris right in front of us here at midfield, getting it into John Campbell. And now near side here, Morris with a great strike for a point, making it a 4-3 game in favor of Gray. Matt Daly, another good look into the middle to Michael Tobias. Portland Mike, as we have a little bit of a scrum on the far side. Brian Murphy coming away with the ball for a point. And it's going to be a 5-3 game in favor of Gray. Down into the corner, Matt Daly working the ball over to the opposite side, far side. Portland Mike working it back outside to Owen McCarthy as John Campbell works it away back to the middle to Shane Fleming, who gets it over to Morris. Morris in front of the goal, looking into the goal, and it's knocked away by the goalkeeper, Ben Bars, as Black is able to clear it out of trouble. Stephen Cobb's clear is intercepted by veteran back Chris Lane. They get the ball forward to Portland Mike, who takes a hefty strike that's knocked down, and the ball's cleared back out by White, by Gray. I think Murphy has a point, and Alan Morris. As the defenses are getting the early edge here early on as we approach the first, a point each. Here's Owen Mack with a wide. Will, do you remember who had the goals? It was Portland Mike for Black, and for White it was Brian Murphy. So Murphy has a goal and a point. As we have a whistle, our referee, Benji, who is wearing black, is just asked to put on a color that does not match one of the teams. So he's going to throw on a red shirt, which will make him easier to spot for not only you here on the broadcast, but everybody out there on the pitch as well, as Bill Jones races into the goal, and he'll be pucking this one out. And it's knocked down by John Campbell, who kicks it out, very football style, as we'd expect from John, to Alan Morris. And John kicks it in again, again cleared out in traffic here with a hold, and that'll be called. Then referee Benji will call that hold on John Campbell, and it'll be a free out for Team Black, as Bill Jones, newly in the goal, will take this free. and he gets it right down into the middle where it's knocked down. Sucky working it back out into the offensive zone for Gray. It's so easy to call them white because the jerseys are actually kind of white, in my opinion. Probably yours too. Sucky's wide is picked up by Alan Morris, who has it knocked down, and John Kenny will clear it back out, and almost into trouble, where Stephen Cobb clears it out, gets it back out, far side to Brian Murphy. Brian Murphy's shot knocked down by Bill Jones. Bill working against Alan Morris in the near corner as the white team retains possession with a shot inside, and that was knocked down. But now we have a point. Who got that? Was it Alan? Yep. Alan Morris with a point, and it's a 6-3 lead for Team Gray as the ball goes down into the near corner on the Gray goal side, and we're going to have a whistle. And that was in the blind corner, so I couldn't see Benji's call, but there's not a foul. They're going to throw it in. As Benji drops it in, Owen Mack creating some space for himself, has it deflected down into the corner. Ball remains in the near corner here as it's to the left of the goalkeeper, Stephen Cobb. Brian Murphy, that's Sucky gaining control, and we are going to get what looks like a 3 to the hand call as Sucky just went back to the hand one too many times, and looks like we will have a free in favor of Team Black. So, John Kenny lining up to take the free for Black, and goes for the point, and it just scoots a little bit wide to our left as Stephen Cobb gets it cleared back out on the puck out to Alan Morris. Alan with a strike from directly in the center of the goal and to the back of the net. 9-3 now for Team Gray. They haven't put that score up on the board here in as we look live at Kiva, but we've got the score right here at 9-3. Down into the corner again. They're really going to play as much as they can where it's the most difficult for me to see and tell you about the action. But now I can see. Far side, Alan Morris always got Brady streaking down the sideline, but takes it himself. And another goal for Alan Morris. It's going to be 12-3 Gray. Matt Daly working it far corner. Looks like Zach. That's got to be Zach Trebutuski. It is. Zach with a strike inside, knocked down by Cobb. Sucky with the clear just over John Kenny's stick, and the ball caroms out to Brian Murphy on the far side as Brian Murphy's shot a little bit of backspin on that, and it's picked up by Portland Mike, who works it back into the corner, dumps it in as it is battled for down there. Looks like by Matt Daly, and couldn't quite see who that was, but it's worked out to the far side. Brady Terry with the hand pass, nice hand pass, threading the needle into Brian Murphy as they drop the ball midfield. And Shane Fleming with the drive that is deflected by Bill Jones and cleared back down into that near corner here, with the ball getting worked by, that's got to be Phil. Looks like Phil Foyts. And we're going to get a foul in the middle. And that's going to go to White, to Gray, as Shane Fleming has the ball deflected again. It's down in the corner to goalkeeper Bill Jones is right. Bill working in there, trying to fight it free. We've got Chris Lane managing the goal while Bill Jones fights for the ball. And it looks like we have a foul against Black. So this is going to be a free, in tight. Shane Fleming getting ready as Black gets ready to defend it, and it's knocked away by Bill Jones nicely. He saw it all the way and worked it into the corner. And it's cleared out by, I believe that was Chris Lane. Bill Jones and Chris Lane, they have together as a tandem respectively knocked down and cleared out a lot of slitters in the history of the Hurling Club of Madison. Those are two venerable defensive players for this club, and they show why. Here's John Kenny, near side, working it for Black, and takes the point. Good look by John Kenny. Finally gets Black off of that 3 spot as they get on the board again, and it's 12-4. That strike by Brian Murphy, a little bit wide. As Bill pucks it out to Chris Lane. Chris working with the solo up into the attacking zone, and he takes the shot, which is knocked down by Stephen Cobb nicely. Here is Black still maintaining control, and another shot on goal there by, I believe, Owen McCarthy, as Stephen Cobb knocks it down and takes it out himself. Finds Phil Foyts in the middle. Phil with the shot. I believe that was a little bit... They're going to score that a point. Looked wide from me, but Bill Jones is right there. Thought it was a point, and Benji has a much better angle than we do here. So that is going to be a point as Owen McCarthy points it back the other way for Black. So we're looking at a 13-4 match score. Early on still. I mean, we're 13-4 is what I show.
Oh, wait, was that not a point there?
It was. The one by...
Sorry, I'm fine.
Oh. Okay. And there's a soccer ball that's made it onto the pitch. So, yeah, every day is an adventure. Not sure where that came from. It just got kicked out of the net. As Cobb with a nice clear to Brian Murphy. Brian working it solo back to Stephen Cobb. Cobb with the clear as Bill Jones is going to work against Brady Terry, and unfortunately that ball gets deflected as Bill Jones comes out and goes in behind for a Gray score, and Brian Murphy, hard shot in on Bill Jones, who saw it all the way, gets it cleared. Now we're looking at Phil. Phil working the ball out of the backs for Gray. Brady on the far side. Brady with a nice decision to take a point. Puts it right down the middle. It's a point for Gray. Brady looked for other options, didn't see them, took the point himself, and earned a score. Another point for Gray. It's 17-5. Got a Owen McCarthy and Brian Murphy just tangled up. Or that was Brady Terry. Tangled up on the far side. Chris Lane comes away with it, gets the ball back down into the near corner as Black working hard in that corner. The defense for Gray has just come up on just about every occasion and been able to get it cleared as they do again. So you're kind of looking at the story of the game so far as Chris Lane once again works it, clears it out down into the Gray zone. Gray working it back out. Sucky in the middle. Alan Morris calling for it. He's got two options with Alan and Brady Terry. Alan with the shot from the near side is deflected and picked up again, this time by Chris Lane. Owen McCarthy picks it up. Looks to clear it to Portland Mike. Gets through and then back to Gray and scored, I believe, by Rowdy. A point there. And yeah, Rowdy, Brian D. So we have a 18 to 5 score for Gray, as Black just still looking to find its groove offensively. And I think that point there by Owen Mack makes it 18 to 6. And sometimes when you're down early on, just seeing and taking those points and just chipping back, there's a long way to go, is a wise decision. Just get your team on the board, and that's what Owen Mack did there as John Kenny works it up the sidelines, and he takes the point. It's almost like maybe my microphone is wired into their helmets because now they're taking the points. That's right, Ian. So we have Stephen Cobb with a great pass. Stephen Cobb with a great pass on the puck out right on the hand of Shane Fleming, and that one goes into the back of the goal, off the stick of Sucky. Really a great look by Cobb, and a great catch by Sucky. I mean, that was just excellent execution on both ends there by Gray, and they're feeling it. As Owen McCarthy chips away again, gets that point. Owen McCarthy with another score. Owen definitely came to play today. He's got it going. As Cobb again down into the corner with that long connection to Shane Fleming, and we get a call by Benji. The one thing that I can't hear sitting behind the glass is what the call is, but that was a foul on Black. You probably saw it better on the broadcast, as Sucky's free is knocked down by the Black wall. Deflected back to Sucky as he takes another shot at it on the ground. Bill Jones saw it, cleared it, gets it out to Zach Trebatuski, showing great hands. Brian Murphy with a good recovery, streaking in and getting just a little bit of a hook on Zach to disrupt his attempt as the ball's deflected back out to Brian, who makes a run, and his shot was deflected nicely by Black. I think that was John Kenny getting in there. It's a nice defensive play. So it's 21-8. Got about 6 minutes left in the first half. We still, as Sucky makes it 24-8, with a shot that's just really difficult to knock down. I mean, he just put it in the right place and found the top of the back of the net. And we have ourselves a 16-point lead for Gray as Owen Mack works to clear it. It gets deflected. Here's Austin. Austin with the connection to Zach Trebatuski, two of our newer, more athletic, long, rangy players, both great future in the club, as Zach working hard against Sucky. Very good effort by Zach, but Sucky comes in and gets control back for Gray. Black with the shot that went wide. They recover. Try to set up the offense here with Owen McCarthy. Back to Matt Daly. Matt with the shot I thought he had it right on line, but it got knocked down by the relatively low ceiling here at Kiva. And that's going to be, I believe it's going to be a free for Black. It's going to be a puck out. Cobb working it in to double coverage. Brian Murphy picks it out underneath two Black defenders. Chris Lane, nice look, getting it out to Portland Mike. Portland Mike will dump it back into the corner as Austin works for it, but it's cleared out by John Campbell for Gray. Campbell finding Alan Morris. Alan Morris on the far side looking for an option. He's got Brian Murphy in the middle, finds him. Brian with great hands. He was well defended by Portland Mike, and Brian creating some space for himself and creating a point with that score. So good individual effort there by Brian Murphy. That wasn't easy. He fought for the ball, got it away from the defense, and then created some space for himself to convert that point. As Alan Morris resets it again for Gray. Trickles back in. Stephen Cobb gets it back out to John Campbell. Campbell, a little bit of back and forth to Stephen Cobb, who has it carry him out to the far side where it's picked up by Chris Lane. Chris with the shot on goal, knocked down, but picked up by Portland Mike, and Portland Mike gets the goal for Black, and Black has cut the deficit to 14. If I'm Black, you've been down most of the half. You're down 14. If you can just get in this last 3 minutes a little bit of momentum, like get the game into single digits by half, and I think you're probably feeling pretty good going into half, even though you're down. If you can trim this deficit and get into striking distance by halftime, get some fresh legs out there and see how the second half looks. As the ball here near side, hard battle by Phil Foyts and John Kenny, two guys that just are warriors out there. And Johnny comes away with it and gets the goal. So a goal for Black. And we have an 11-point game, but Brian Murphy puts it right back to 14. Great shot from the far side, finding the net, and it's a 28-14 game. 2-touchdown lead for Team Gray as Brian battling with Chris Lane along the boards. Again, it's cleared by Portland Mike. Was looking for Ben Bars in the middle. Ben Bars has it knocked down, but it comes to Matt Daly, and what great hands by Stephen Cobb. I mean, Matt Daly put a little mustard on that one, and Cobb may have gotten a little piece of it with his stick, but it came right back to his hand, and that was just great hand-eye coordination by the veteran goalkeeper Stephen Cobb. It's hand-eye coordination that, oh wow, I think that is in spite of the effort by Stephen Cobb. Again, almost looked like standing on his head to deflect a shot out from the goal. I mean, I don't know, you guys, Will, Ian, if you thought that looked like it was going to be a goal. Yeah. And are they gonna talk about what happened there? Yeah, that's what I thought too, and I'm not sure if that's what the call is going to be. They're gonna call a throw-in. So good effort by Cobb to sell that as not a goal. I'll have to look at the replay again later, but I mean, I'm not saying Cobb was trying to sell it intentionally, but I mean his effort is what prevented that from ultimately going on the scoreboard for Black. And a goal the other way as the action picks up. We had a goal off of that great play by Cobb. The goal went down and was scored by Gray and then sent back down, I believe so. And then Black with the goal. So Austin working it back in. Matt Daly battling against two defenders, John Campbell and Phil Foyts. Getting a little help from Portland Mike. Portland Mike working it. Oh, wow. He disrupted Brian Dowling just enough, but Brian prevailed as the time expires here in the first half. So good up and down action to conclude the half. We had an exchange of goals. We had a couple good runs by each team, but the outcome is about what it was for the latter part of the first half, as we're looking at a 14-point deficit for Black, with Gray taking that lead into halftime. Sorry?
Black has its momentum.
Black does have the momentum. I thought there were moments that it looked like Black was going to kind of get back in it. Cut it to single digits, get it down to 9, 7 points. But Gray, they kept on it. They're not sitting on their lead. They are definitely working hard to keep the momentum going their way, and they have the 14-point lead. It's going good. Yep, we believe it's right. Yeah. So let's look at our halftime summary here. Our leading scorer looks like it is Brian Murphy for Gray. Brian Murphy and Alan Morris, each with 2 goals, 2 points. On the Black side, we have 2 goals for Chris Lane. Chris has 2 goals. Portland Mike with a goal. John Kenny with a goal. In the scoring column with goals for Gray, we have Shane Fleming. We have Stephen Cobb with a goal. That's probably not right. Yeah. But that's okay. Yeah, we'll get that sorted. Also, Brady Terry with 2 goals and a point as well. So, yeah, hard to tell. We'll get that sorted out later. So, as we... Oh, did he? Okay. As we await the start of the second half, we have Will Jackson doing a little bit of video work himself. Unfortunately, getting me on the camera. There's no time for makeup at 5 o'clock in the morning. So the less that I'm on the camera, the better. But no, there's been, if I'm not mistaken, and I watched the first matchup between these two on this very broadcast. I wasn't here, but I think in both instances, and you can all say, what an idiot, you're wrong, if I'm wrong, which there's a chance of, but I think Gray may have held leads in both of the first 2 matches early on, and Black had to adjust at halftime and figure out how to turn the tables, and they've done it both times. So I wouldn't call this match over by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah, it's a double-digit lead. It's hard to come back, but in this format, indoor, it's really easy for each team to make a run. So I would expect a good run of momentum for Black coming out of the gate. And if not, right out of the gate, they're going to get their run, make this a game. But 14 points, it can go from 14 to, you get a couple goals and all of a sudden it's 8. You get a couple points, it's 6, and then you have yourselves a match. So let's see what Black's strategy is going into the second half. I think they're doing a lot of the right things defensively. If I had to assess what's gone wrong for them, I would say just over the midfield line, Gray is just winning the ball. The puck outs, the deflections, kind of in that midfield offensive zone. That's where Gray has really prevailed. And from there, if you win the ball there, you create a lot of offense for your side. So Black, hopefully for their sake, they were mindful of that. Because I think right now, that's where the game is being decided, is just kind of that near midfield area, just in front, or not just in front of the Black goal, but kind of between that midfield line and the 13. I don't know if it's 13 meters in indoor. It probably isn't, but that 13-meter stripe, if you're scaling it to an outdoor pitch, which we'd all love to be playing outdoors, but it's February, it's Wisconsin, it's like a skating rink out there. And believe it or not, I mean, in a couple months, I bet we'll be out there training for outdoor hurling. Weather changes fast as Sucky, per my analysis, wins the ball into that near midfield area, puts a strike in, and opens up the scoring in the second half for Gray. We have ourselves a 34-17 match as Matt Daly trying to work from the far corner with a drive that's deflected by the defense. Matt looking for Owen Mack, finds him. Owen Mack picking it up, trying to create space. Defended well by Sucky, and well enough to force that shot high and into the rafters, as the ball will be pucked out by Stephen Cobb for Team Gray, who that should be a free. That's correct. So earlier this year in the developmental league, as you'll see in the second half of this doubleheader, when those balls hit the ceiling, that's a puck out. So that's an experimental rule that we're working on in the developmental league, and I think everybody is maybe just a little confused, as this will be a free out, and now we're going to have a throw in. So really confused, but nevertheless, we're back to live action. A lot less confusing as Brian Dowling, Rowdy, dumps it into the corner where it's picked up by John Kenny. John Kenny has Owen McCarthy, hears him call for the ball, puts it on Owen's hand. Owen with a great point. I mean, just a good look, and trimming it to 34-18, 16-point deficit for Black, as Cobb works it back in on the puck out to the middle. Rowdy picks it up and kind of trickles it back down into that near corner here for Gray. Brian Murphy with the shot. It's knocked down by Owen McCarthy. Nice defense by Owen Mack. Sending it in. Stephen Cobb sees it all the way. Catches it, gets it back out. His defense will work it. And Matt Daly with a one-timer off of the live ball. And it's deflected wide by Cobb. Now John Kenny knocks down the errant clear by Gray. Goes for the high point ball, which is won by John Kenny. And a point. It'll be a point for Black, yes. I think that was Mike Tobias, yep. And as the ball is battled for on the far corner, near middle, Black zone, John Kenny coming away with it. John with a little bit of momentum, a lot of momentum. Oh, and he had the point, and it just clipped that rafter. Just clipped the rafter. So it's not going to be a score there, as Stephen Cobb will work to puck it out. Down into the corner. Nice puck out. Picked up nicely by Alan Morris, who over the back goes for that point, and just a little more on it, and it would have been a point, but it fell a little bit short. And Alan picks it up again, and atones for that one by scoring it into the back of the net for a goal. And it is now a 18-point lead. I think that's the largest lead now for Gray, as they work it again out of the defensive zone. Live in the Black zone. Bill Jones, Alan Morris battling for it. Bill getting support from John Kenny in the goal as they work it outside back to the near boards. John Kenny to clear out to Austin Shivnik. Austin takes a shot. Cobb sees it all the way. Clears it back out, knocked down by Ben Bars. Ben has it trickle back down into the corner where Cobb picks it up again. Cobb now working it out to Brian Murphy. Murphy with a great pass onto the hand of Alan Morris. Nicely defended by Ben Bars, who keeps the ball away from the goal, works it back out into the corner, getting some support from his black teammates. John Kenny clears it out. Great look, great pass, great hands by Owen Mack. Owen Mack, I believe, attempting the point, was knocked down by Shane Fleming, but it trickles out to John Kenny, who converts it for the 20th point for Team Black, as they've shaved it down to 17. Ben Bars, Ben doing some great work in the backs. Ben doing some great work in the backs. His strike goes wide, as Cobb again clears it back out, pucks it back out into the corner. And Owen Mack's been all over the place for Black, really having low-key, having a nice game. And John Kenny doing John Kenny things as well, as John Kenny works hard to get it out to the middle and has it deflected into the corner, as Black tries to retain control. Just trying to get a little bit of momentum here. Owen McCarthy with the reset. Looking back for Matt Daly. Matt Daly with a great job calling for the ball. Owen hears it, makes a nice pass. His shot is deflected. It was deflected by Cobb. Portland Mike with a great pass to Matt Daly. And Matt finds the net as a goal for Black. And we're back down to 14, our halftime deficit. And now a little bit of momentum for Black, and we'll see if they can carry it on and make this a tighter match here in the closing 13 minutes. Here's Bill Jones working it back again to Owen Mack. Owen Mack sending it in. Nobody home in the forward line at the moment for Black, as they work 2-on-1 against Sucky, Ben Bars, and Portland Mike. Portland Mike shadowing Sucky very well, forcing the pass that's deflected back into Austin. Austin joining the White Helmet crew, joining me and Paul Anderson as White Helmet guys. I don't know, that it really means a lot, especially since I wear one, but there's Austin. Maybe the White Helmet does mean a lot, as he puts it into the goal, and we have a 37-26 game. It's 11 points, so a little bit of momentum for Black, and you wonder if Black can trim it into single digits, if Gray will use their timeout and try to stop the momentum. But we'll see. For now, it's an 11-point match, as Allen trying to work it to the near boards, gets it a little high, and it's caught up in the netting. So it'll be sideline cut in by Black. Bill Jones working it from the backs. I think that's a point. Yep, a point for Bill Jones from the goal box. And we have a 10-point match. So tension building a little bit here as things tighten up. We have Rowdy working under the stick of Portland Mike. And then Allen getting it back out to John Campbell right in front of us here, right in front of this crew. Ball caroms out to Brian Murphy, who finds the back of the net, takes some of the momentum back for Gray. I think Gray really needed that goal. If Black was going to get another one, it was really going to get tight and start to get stressful. So they create a little bit of comfort, a little bit of cushion for themselves as Brian Murphy pushes it a little bit wide there again. But Murphy continues, stays at it, as Brian Murphy does, never quits. And Bill Jones may have made contact with the ball on the ground, which will be a free for Black. Or maybe that wasn't the call. The call was before he picked it up off the ground. So forgive me on that one. Not a foul. Ooh, Portland Mike with a hard drive that it was probably about 18 inches wide. Stays live. John Campbell. John Campbell's been really on top of the game in the backs. Just made a lot of plays. Gotten Gray out of a lot of trouble today. So shout out to JC, who's done great work in the backs, as Owen McCarthy keeps it live. Ben Barr's on the rebound, and Black just misses there on the last 3 shots. So it stays a 13-point lead for Gray, as John Kenny looking to strike it off the ground. A little bit high there, but it's still controlled by Black, as Owen Mack gets it out to Austin, Austin hustling in, but the ball just didn't want to find his stick, as Sucky puts that the other way, converts it for Gray, and I think they may have given the score to the wrong team, right? Yeah. It should be a 43-27. Yep. The scoreboard here has it at 40-30, now 40-33, but it's a 43-27 score. So when we get a whistle, I didn't see. I was trying to figure out the scoring discrepancy here. So there's Shane Fleming looking for Brian Murphy, leads him just a little bit too far. It's picked up by Owen Mack, who converts it for a point. I believe the score is correct on our display, 43-28, as Ian, Ian's got it. So they're getting a little closer on the other side. Yeah. They're trying to figure out the scoring issue here on the main board. I'm pretty sure that on our board it's 43-28. So they got it corrected now. So now I can follow the action and more competently call it for you, as I'm not hung up on the scoreboard. So it's a 15-point match. So Black, if Black is going to make a run, the time is now. We're in our final 7.5 minutes. 14 points. I mean, the game can change fast, but you're running out of time to make a run at this point. So I expect them to kind of really start picking up the aggression on the offensive end. But the defense for White, for Gray, it's really the MVP today. As Black, Matt Daly, finding the back corner, and we have a 12-point lead. So, yeah, but I mean, it's still credit to the Gray back line. I mean, they've just taken so much away. As you see, John Campbell there take another one away. Brady looking for Alan Morris, finds him off the boards. Allen, Austin battling hard. I think Benji's going to get Allen for an over the back. A little bit of a hold there. Good call by Benji. I think the free will need to be taken because it was in the attacking zone. The free will need to be taken by Austin because Austin was the player fouled. That's a rule that we put that rule in last year. As Austin sends the free just a little bit wide. Cobb has really liked pucking it into that far corner all day long and giving his team the opportunity to set up their offense from there. They've done it well. John Kenny with the drive in that's caught by Brady and pushed back out. Now right in front of us we have a scrum for the ball. Brian Murphy coming away with it. Brian with a great look inside to Phil Foyts. Phil down into the far corner. And we're going to get I think we had a little bit of a hook and hold there. against Shane Fleming. So it will be a free out as Matt Daly will work it back into the offensive zone for Black, and it finds the netting and finds the spectator area, and I would think we would just play with another slitter, but yeah, didn't even give us enough time to autograph that one before sending it back in. Ian Limolli here running the scoreboard wanted to put a signature on that. A little bit of a John Hancock, but it'll have to wait till later. Do it at the bar. So here's Rowdy working it in for Gray, taking the shot. It's deflected. Bill Jones clearing it from the outside boards to the from the inside boards to the far boards, as it's worked back out again by Gray. Brian Murphy on the far corner. He had Brian Dowling, his fellow Brian counterpart, streaking up the near side, but there was just a little too much Black interference there to prevent a clean goal from happening. It's 12 points still. Owen Mack has it deflected by Phil Foyts. Phil working it to Brian Murphy, who's got a point-blank shot and converts it. I think Black, as they need to be, is pressing a little bit on the offensive end, which means you sacrifice a little bit on the defensive end, and that left Brian Murphy all alone on the goal, and that it's not something you ever really want, but it's a gamble that you have to take at this point in the match if you're Black, as Portland Mike gets the goal, and it's back to 12. So not over yet, but Black really needs to be the team to get the next points, the next goals. I have to think that any goal by Gray is gonna be the dagger at this point. So Black still defending hard. Alan Morris works it back to his goalkeeper, Stephen Cobb. Stephen Cobb will send it back out again into that near corner. Bill Jones racing in for it. Bill getting it back out to Owen Mack. Owen Mack looking for an option. He tries for the point, but it's again knocked down by that pesky ceiling here at Kiva. So 2 minutes, 12-point match. We're going to have a second match here, a doubleheader coming up at 7 a.m. But let this one play out first. And Austin, great hands there. That one was skipping quickly, and he's able to corral it into his hand. Brian Murphy, again, Austin staying goal side. Well defended by Austin Shivnik. Give Austin credit there for sending that one wide. As Owen Mack looking to clear it, has it knocked down, but it's again controlled by Austin, who gets it cleared to midfield, picked up by Sucky. Again in off of Austin's calves, I believe. But hey, Austin using every part of his body to keep that ball away from his goalkeeper, Bill Jones, and out of the back of the net. Good movement there between Austin and Portland Mike, but it's broken up by Gray. Sent back down to Bill Jones, who is battling Brian Murphy for it, and Brian prevails. Puts it in. At the 1 minute mark, we have a 15-point match, and I think now we're playing out the string as Bill on the puck out. It's the live ball. I think it's a dead ball. You can't point from the puck out, I don't think. So yeah, it's gonna be a puck the other way. As the final 30 seconds here tick off, ball into the middle to Portland Mike. I think that's a point. Yep. And with 20 seconds left, they cut the deficit to 13, but I would have to guess that's as close as they're going to get. So this one's winding down. John Campbell, just 3 seconds left. Still trying to work it in, and that'll do it. Final score today is Gray 49, Black 35. Good win for Gray, their first in the series between these two teams, the competitive league. So 2-1 lead in this series overall for Black, but Gray with the victory today, and congratulations to them. Good work by Team Gray as the teams congratulate each other and get ready to make way for the next match, which will be, I believe, a development league match between John and Allie Kenny's team. So husband and wife going head to head on the pitch. And I will be joined in the booth for that one by the voice of the Hailstones, Bill Jones, who will take over the play-by-play. I'm sure you're all hoping for that. Did the best I could, typically providing the color commentary for our audience out there, but I got pressed into play-by-play duty, so hopefully helped you follow the action today as Gray gets the win, and just going to try to keep the conversation going here. Thanks to our crew today. Will Jackson did a fine job on the camera switching, and Ian Limolli doing a fine job on the score on the other side of me. So good job by the crew. While we're between matches here, we can talk a little bit about our sponsors, Aaron Weber Group, on front of several of our jerseys. Generous sponsorship from Aaron Weber. They did a fantastic job. Paul's Neighborhood Bar, they are our Saturday morning sponsor. We'll be there afterwards, just doing a great job, pushing out great food for us, keeping the drinks full for our day drinking escapades. We got the Murphy Rundy sponsorship. They are in front of the jerseys, so you got Aaron Weber on front of one set of jerseys and Murphy Rundy on the front of another set of jerseys. Just a great core of sponsors that we have for this, not only this broadcast but this league, being able to help us cover the cost of the facilities, the jerseys, and come summer we'll have another group of sponsors that'll line up and help us pay for cost of facilities and jerseys again. So we are a benefactor, or the beneficiary of a lot of generosity from our beloved sponsors. As warm-ups will begin here for the second match between Team Green. What's that?
You want to end the stream, you can. We'll start it back up on the next one.
Where do I?
Never mind.
Okay. He's like, just keep talking. It's like, end the stream. I'm like, I don't know what button to push, so I gotta keep. I'll just keep trying to fill the dead air here until either the second match starts or Bill gets over here to hit the pause button. I'm not sure if it's the pause button on the equipment or if it's the pause button on me, Craig Wagner, which I'm sure a lot of guys in this club would like to press a lot of times, but too bad. You got to listen to me for a little while longer. And I don't know, hopefully for a long time coming, but who knows what the future holds out there. But we got now some of the blues and greens are taking the pitch to warm up for game number 2. In the meantime, I don't know, we can talk a little bit about the upcoming season. I know that there's a ladies event coming up at Delta Beer Lab on March 12th. It's going to be kind of a social intro to camogie and Gaelic sports, asking members of the club, members of the community to bring people out to Delta Beer Lab on the 12th and learn a little bit more about ladies Gaelic sports, women's Gaelic sports. They'll be streaming some camogie and Gaelic football on the screens at Delta, enjoying some of the fine beers that Delta Beer Lab produces. They gave us a keg of Oktoberfest for our tournament back in September, and just a fantastic beer. It went fast. Had it alongside the traditional 3 kegs of PBR out there, and both very popular items to tap into your mug when it's 80 degrees out and you've been playing hurling or Gaelic football all day. So, I mean, having beer sponsorships, that's pretty essential when you're playing outside all summer long in Wisconsin. Like, doesn't get any better. So, we have Team Blue out there for warm-ups. We have a young lane lad out there kicking his ball around, staying warm himself. We have now some greens out there as Captain Allie Kenny gets warmed up. And
Awesome. All the cameras are working. And
we got the cameras. Bill testing the camera. Yeah, ready for... I'm going to lose my voice here. So I'm glad that Bill Jones is here to take over the play-by-play.
Why don't you sign off and I'll stop.
I'll provide the analysis. So, once again, Game 1 of our doubleheader showed Gray notching its first win in this series, 49-35. Craig Wagner signing off on behalf of Will Jackson and Ian Limolli, and we'll be right back in the commentator's chair here in a few minutes with Bill Jones joining me on